Absolutely, that is what we're going to have to mark on our calendars going forward. But then, we're looking at oil as well, there's quite the interesting move that's come in because the WTI contract fell just about 0.5%, settled around that $86 a barrel mark. Even Brent also lost 0.8%, settled around that $90 a barrel mark. Now, Israel withdrew forces from the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis over the weekend, bringing its troop levels in the enclave to one of the lowest levels since the war with Hamas began last October. Now, negotiations on a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas are ongoing in Cairo. And U.S. crude and Brent, when you look at the price movements, gained more than 4% last week as tensions between Israel and Iran, raising renewed fears that a direct confrontation between the two would lead to regional conflict that disrupts crude supply. So that's the kind of move that we've seen coming in for oil. But these geopolitical tensions have also bolstered another commodity, and that is gold. Now, gold prices hit a record high for a 7th straight session on Monday, fueled in part by Asian central bank purchases as well. So when you're looking at US gold futures, you're looking at a gain of about 0.5% coming in, but it was around those record levels. And same can be said about spot gold as well. Now, when you look at the factors fueling this particular rally, what you're seeing is that there's a lot of central bank buying. So there's China's central bank added 160,000 ounces of gold to its reserves in March. You've got Turkey, India, Kazakhstan as well. Some Eastern European countries as well have been buying gold this year. So that is one factor along with the geopolitical tensions, but it's not just boosting gold, it's boosting silver as well, because silver was also near that highest level in nearly 3 years. In fact, India's silver imports also hit a record high in February, and that was after lower duties encouraged large purchases from UAE as well. But there's Bitcoin, of course, that is in the spotlight as well, because the price of Bitcoin briefly surged past 72,000 on Monday, and this was driven by the global crypto market cap. This also drove global crypto market cap to $2.67 trillion, which is a 3% jump coming for Bitcoin's market cap. Now, Bitcoin's momentum has sparked increased buying activity with both retail investors as well, pouring dollars into various crypto assets. Now, Ethereum as well as other cryptocurrencies have also seen gains coming in, riding the wave of Bitcoin's demand. However, Bitcoin's price cooled off overnight as retail investors booked profits.
Okay, that's on the crude as well as the Bitcoin front that we're keeping an eye out on. But let's move on and talk about certain events that we should be keeping an eye out on. Let's not forget, today we do have Gudi Padwa holiday, so banks are going to be shut. But in the global markets, we don't have much of a corporate action. Only few news flows that we're watching out for. Supreme Court is going to be hearing the plea of seeking stay on CAA. FOMC member Neil Kashkari will be speaking. So yes, we'll be watching out for his comments coming later on tomorrow. But yes, not much in terms of a queue that one should keep an eye out on. But today, do not forget that we are expecting a couple of block deals today. Gland Pharma and Axis Bank, keeping an eye out on that, because that's an event that we should watch out for in terms of the Indian market. At least some big block deals, and this is according to agencies that we do have the information that we could see some big block deals happening here.
Absolutely. And moving on then to some more news and updates, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has highlighted the possibility of imposing tariffs on China's green energy exports, signaling a tough stance in ongoing negotiations. In an interview, Yellen emphasized the need for a level playing field, hinting at potential shifts in China's subsidy policies. While expressing a desire to collaborate with China, she stressed the importance of safeguarding domestic industries and ensuring opportunities for American firms and workers in critical sectors. Yellen's remarks come amid her visit to Beijing.
And JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon criticized US delays in liquefied natural gas projects. He has attributed them to political motives aimed to appeasing anti-oil and gas sentiment, which he deems wrong and erroneously naive. In his annual shareholder letter, Dimon actually advocated for replacing coal with natural gas to reduce carbon emission, and also warned that US interest rates could soar to 8% or more in the coming years if high deficit spending continues.
And the Biden administration is set to announce a subsidy of $67 billion to South Korea's Samsung next week, aimed at expanding chip production in Texas. According to reports, now the subsidy will support the construction of 4 facilities, including a $17 billion chip-making plant announced in 2021. The investment is expected to more than double Samsung's US investment to over $44 billion, signaling a significant boost to domestic chip-making efforts.
And some update coming to Tesla. Tesla has reached a settlement in the lawsuit stemming from 2018 car crash that resulted in the death of an Apple engineer. The accident occurred when the engineer's Tesla Model X operating on autopilot veered off a highway near San Francisco. The settlement reached on the brink of trial concludes a 5-year legal battle. Details of the settlement were not disclosed.
And a total solar eclipse swept across North America on Monday, casting cities in Mexico, the U.S. and Canada into darkness. Sky watchers celebrated the celestial event with great pomp and fervor, where the moon completely blocks the sun and it lasted for up to 4 minutes depending on the observer's location. While a partial eclipse was visible across most of the continental U.S., an estimated 44 million people lived within the path of fatality.
And moving on, we did have Bennett Coleman's past chairman, late Shanti Prasad Jain, was honored at the FICCI Foundation Day, receiving a memento. Winnie Jain, MD Times Group, spoke about the legacy of his grandfather, S.P. Jain. He also spoke on how Indian industry is uniquely positioned to help India transform into a developed country in the near future. Here's a special